It's Charlie from DM Sound, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2023 GMC Yukon and its 18-speaker Bose Performance Series audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, and controls. We're going to look at speaker locations, and then we're going to head out on the highway and listen to these sample tracks at 70 miles per hour to get you a realistic impression for this audio system. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you want to hear even more on this system, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. I requested a members-only sound test last night. We listened to a lot of different tracks and got more of a real-world sort of impression for the system. So if you want to see that and support the channel, check the link below. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. The Denali Ultimate trim. So a $100,000 full-size SUV in front of us here, coming with a whole lot of bells and whistles. Just about the nicest full-size SUV you can get from GM outside of an Escalade. We've done a lot of videos on it. We've done a fuel economy test, that members-only sound test I was telling you about. We've got a full review coming and an infotainment breakdown, so take a look for all of those in the description. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory default, so let's take a look at those now. I'm actually already in the sound adjustment screen, but I got there by going into the media screen here. It's a good infotainment system. It's Android Automotive based, and like I said, if you do want to see more on it, check the link below for our in-depth breakdown. We're going to go up here to our audio settings, and then we're greeted with equalizer right up at the top. You got adjustments for bass, mid-range, and treble. Let's go through those. Out of a $100,000 Performance Series system, I'd like to see a 5 or 9 band equalizer, but there is a good amount of adjustability there. Below that, we have front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance adjustments. You can move the sound throughout the cabin. Reset that. Below that, you have sound modes. Now, here's how we kind of customize the 3D and surround effects of the system. So you've got normal, driver, center point, and rear. We're going to do most of the tests in normal, but we'll cycle through some of those other settings as well. And this song's just about to come to a close. I'm going to skip to the next one. We'll get that going and demo the different modes. Below that, you've got Bose Audio Pilot. So having that enabled is going to lift volume and elements of the music to make up for road, engine, and wind noise when you're cruising at speed. But let's go back to these sound modes and go through the descriptions for all of them. Normal says normal provides the best possible sound quality to all seating positions. Driver is driver provides the driver with the best possible sound quality. Centerpoint says Centerpoint creates the best surround sound listening experience from nearly any audio source. And then rear provides the best possible sound quality to the backseat passengers. I've done a lot of listening in all these categories. Typically with systems that have a driver option, that sounds the best. But in this car, that doesn't really seem to be the case. I'm lacking bass on the driver setting. But let's go through all of them, see what y'all think. Let's start with rear. Obviously not too much sound up here. Let's go to normal. Driver. And center point. I think normal sounds the best for big, loud type of music where you're really jamming out. Center point and driver are good for a little bit more technical music, maybe with some good vocals played at lower volumes. But I found myself sticking mostly with center point and normal through our testing last night. Let's go back to normal for now. And that's all you got for audio adjustments. For audio controls here in the Yukon, you've got a nice volume knob here. It's got good clicks. It's a little far for the driver. If you had shorter arms, you might have trouble reaching up to that. But fortunately, you have volume on the back right of the wheel here. For track selection, you've got physical controls here. You can use the touch screen if you're on the proper menu. You can use the scroller knob depending on the screen to control elements of the screen. But it doesn't look like it's giving us scrolling through tracks right now. And then you have volume, or rather track selection on the back left of the steering wheel. For audio inputs, you have your standard AM/FM with HD radio support, Sirius XM, Bluetooth audio streaming, both wired and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support with USB-A and USB-C ports down there. And because this is an Android automotive-based system, you can install applications. Right now we've got Google News and Google Podcasts built in. It also says Amazon Alexa, so if you set that up, you can have support for Amazon Alexa, but that's not exactly an audio input. What does that mean you're missing? Well, there's no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack and no disc player. Not the end of the world by any means. You can install a lot of streaming services like Spotify or Pandora using the Google Play Store. Speaker locations. As I said, this is an 18 speaker system. It simply builds on the 14 speaker system that you get in more of the basic Yukons. Starting in the bottom left here, we've got a big door woofer 1, mid-range and tweeter up there 2, 3, a center mid-range 4, 5, 6, 7 over on the other side. Then right here in the headrest of this performance series, you got 8, 9, 10, 11. It's giving you some audio inputs right there. Coming into the back, we see 12, 13, probably a tweeter, and then sort of a mid-range woofer there. 14, 15. In the D pillar, 16, 17, you might be able to see back there. And then, whoops, let's pull the weather stripping off. Then we've got number 18 back here, a big old subwoofer. Now, I actually typically prefer the GM systems with the subwoofer up in the center console, but for this one, they've got a big woofer back here. All right, I'm gonna get this stuff put away, and we're gonna head out on the road. system, you can listen to a song like this and really crank it up, and you're not getting anything harsh or insulting into your ears, but there is an element where you're left thinking, is that it? You're expecting more complexity and more finesse with the instrumentation. You're not really getting it. With the number of speakers in here, especially these near fields behind, you should be able to get some real crispiness and some elements of your favorite songs that you don't notice in other systems, and this system's lacking in that. Speaking of lacking, let's test out the bass and see if that subwoofer all the way back there can rumble the cabin. Oops. Sometimes my fingers get confused with which buttons do which back here. So it does sound like the door woofers are doing quite a lot of work. It's not the end of the world. But I'm getting some good rumblies, got some mirror shakage going on. Overall, it's strong. It is strong. Thoughts on 18-speaker Bose Performance Series here in the GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate. The sound system is a lot like the vehicle in that there's a big wow factor. Looking at it, looking at these nice brushed aluminum speaker grills, and you get in, you're like, ooh, we got speakers in the headrest. It sounds cool as soon as you get in. The more you dig into it and spend time with it, I don't know if I want to go as far as to say it's a disappointment. It's just, it doesn't live up to those initial expectations. It sounds good. I've listened to a ton of music in this car. I've listened to talk radio, podcasts, everything. It's quality, but it's not playing up in the leagues with the top level luxury vehicles. So you got to get that idea out of your mind. Strictly audio, I think you could argue that this comes in at the lowest end of an A tier, kind of an 89, 90% there. It does really sound good to crank up your music, but like I said earlier, the wow factor just isn't there, and the top tier, the hearing elements of your music that surprise you that you should be getting in an A tier or S tier system is not there. So for me, at this price point, this style vehicle, it's coming in at a B+. It's good, it's solid, but they could do better. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the Yukon Denali, check the link in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from DM Sound, and as always, drive on.